So tonight's question is, what was so special about Abram? In Genesis chapter 12, this is where the story shifts gears. We've seen creation, we saw the fall, we saw the flood, we saw the Tower of Babel, but here God's going to zero in on one man, Abram, and says, through you, I'm going to bless the whole world. So this chapter is big. It's the start of God's covenant people, the beginning of the gospel. And it shows how faith and obedience are going to walk hand in hand. Verses 1 through 3, you have God calling Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to a land that I will show you. Now hold up. God tells Abram to leave everything he knows, and that's not easy. But faith says, yes, Lord, even when you don't know where you're going. Then comes the promise. I will make you into a great nation. I'll bless you, I'll make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. So I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families of earth will be blessed through you. Now, that last part right there, that's a gospel promise in seed form. Jesus Christ, the descendant of Abram, is the one through whom all nations will be blessed. This ain't just about one man getting rich. It's about God redeeming the world through a covenant of grace. In verses 4 through 6, Abram obeys. So Abram departed as the Lord had instructed. He obeyed. He didn't have GPS, no clue the destination. But you know what? He trusted the one who gave the call. This is faith in action, exactly what the book of Hebrews talks about in chapter 11. He travels through the land of Canaan, and God says, I will give this land to your descendants. Right here's the start of the promised land. Abram didn't own it yet, but he believed God would deliver, and that's faith. In verses 7 through 9, Abram starts to worship. It says, then Abram built an altar there and dedicated it to the Lord who had appeared to him. So everywhere that Abram goes, he builds altars, and that's worship. He ain't just traveling, he's marking God's faithfulness. In verses 10 through 20, Abram slips up in Egypt. He shows that he's human just like you and me. Now here comes the human side. It says, at that time a severe famine struck the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to wait it out. But instead of trusting God, Abram gets scared. He lies and says his wife Sarai is a sister because he's afraid Pharaoh's going to kill him to take her. And guess what? Pharaoh does take her. So Pharaoh gave Abram many gifts, but the Lord sent terrible plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So even when Abram messed up, God stepped in and protected that promise. Pharaoh kicks him out, and Abram leaves Egypt rich but humbled. So what's Genesis chapter 12 really telling us? First, God's covenant is built on grace, not works. Second, faith obeys even when the path is uncertain. Third, God is working a plan to bless the nations through Jesus. And even when we stumble, God is faithful to his promise. This chapter sets the stage for the whole rest of the Bible. From here on out, we're following the line of faith from Abram to Isaac to Jacob to David, all the way to Christ. God don't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. You may not know where he's taking you, but if he's calling you, follow. Obey, trust, and when you stumble, repent and get back up, because God's plan is bigger than your mess ups. So keep reading your Bible so you won't be dumb.